Please welcome the future All-Australian defender, Toby Pink.
Wants to take them on, runs to 50, runs inside, a sidestep, another bounce, has the shot. Oh, baby!
Welcome back to Further North, everybody. It's not every day we get massive guests on the podcast. And look, in the last 4 to 6 weeks, it doesn't get much bigger than this. Toby Pink, welcome, mate. Thank you for giving me some of your time.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Excited.
What a week for North Melbourne in general. But, how's your day been? Sort of, we're recording on the Monday after the game. How's it been after the Carlton win? And you were saying before Mondays are pretty cruisy. How's things been the last couple of days?
Yeah, good, mate. The vibes are good. Obviously had a massive win on the weekend and played some good footy. Today was a cruisy day, just in the club doing some recovery. Going through some vision mainly on that last quarter and the first quarter. But, vibes are good after a win. And
I just saw before Foss got the rising star as well.
Yeah, about time. He's probably been a bit stiff, had played a few games, but, he deserves it. So it's good that he's got that recognition.
He's sort of locked that spot down in the back line as well. I think I guess a question with the back line, even if you're reviewing footage and things like that, what's making the back line so good at the moment? Because it's definitely been an area of weakness, say, the last couple of years. And then this year, it just looks like a unit,
Yeah, it's just boys trusting each other. There's a lot of good players that we've got in the team, a lot of depth we've got. You got a lot of players that are missing out. So it sort of puts the pressure on the guys that are in the team to play well. Otherwise, there's going to be people coming and taking their spots. So I think a bit of that and just, a bit of the team system. We're playing all good footy at the moment. So the mids and the forwards are really helping us out down back.
Yeah, it sort of starts up the ground, doesn't it? I mean, look, I can't analyse anywhere near obviously what you can and what the coaches can, but even just from watching North my whole life, and especially the last 5 or 6 years, it does start up the ground. And I'm a massive advocate for JK Constanti, and I think he just puts so much pressure on up in that forward line that it stops the transition going super quick.
It does. And if the forwards do put pressure up the ground, then, we're sort of defending in our front half, which is, a lot easier than waiting for it to get in our D50. So the more they give is really puts it on us, bring it back in quicker. So it's good.
Yeah. And I guess the fans the last few years as well have been, very reactionary to North Melbourne, but you've come across to the club. You've been there, your second year now, right? So how easy is it to buy into a club that is struggling and needs to then build? You came over to North Melbourne, was it easy to buy in and just instantly be like, here's the vision, this is what we've got to do?
Yeah, for sure. Like you said, I've only been here for 2 years, and I think, a lot of the damage was done before that. And, when I come in, a lot of the boys wanted to get better and a bit over losing. So, the mentality was already there, and I just jumped on board and, wanted to win as well. No one really likes losing. So, the club's been great, and the vibe's been good, even though, we haven't won too many games. It's a young, vibrant team, and we just want to stay as positive as possible.
I think the fans as well, especially this week, but the last 6 to 8 weeks have really seen the change, which is something we've been waiting for. I know for me personally, I watch every week and I've wanted this, and I know it's a process, but do the players sort of see, especially after a win like on the weekend, how much of the fans' enthusiasm and support sort of comes across? I know I don't want it to sound too cliche because it's just something like another media person would ask you, but it's like, do you guys see how much we care? And then does that genuinely spur you on to get better for the club and for the fans and stuff?
Yeah, for sure. The club's been through some, bad years, and we're pretty grateful the fans have stuck with us. And, like you said, the last 6 weeks has been a massive change, and you can sort of see more people getting down to trainings, more people wanting to get involved in the club. And, I think we've got the highest membership for North that we've ever had. So, it is showing, and the sport's so good, and, it does keep us up and energy high.
How do you celebrate after a win like that? I know the last quarter there's things to work on, but overall you guys did the job, and I loved it. It was unbelievable. You get to walk. What's it like walking around the ground and seeing the fans, and then when you get in the change rooms and stuff? How do you celebrate?
Yeah, well, it is good. The fans coming off, it was always grateful cheers. And yeah, just normal stuff. Getting around the trams are normally pretty full of family and sponsors and that. So after a win, there's always a bunch of people to get around in the club rooms, which is great.
Yeah, it sounds fun. Hopefully I can get in there one day, mate, because it looks fun. Like I'd love to be part of a Gatorade shower. I know I'd be washing out my hair for days, but that sounds like a fun time, to be honest. You got drafted to Sydney, right?
Yep.
And then through COVID went back to South Australia. What was it like? Going back there and getting another shot. Like, was it hard to get another shot back in the AFL? And how did that come about with North?
Yeah, so finished up in Sydney in 2019, and then actual moved to Melbourne in 2020,
Okay.
ironically, to play for North Melbourne in the VFL. So I did pretty much a full preseason, and then 2020, as everyone knows, is the COVID year, and footy got shut down pretty much outside of AFL, and didn't play a game for that whole year, which is a year out of the AFL is probably where most guys get picked back up. So it was bad timing for me, and so 2021 sort of just got out of Melbourne, went back to the home state of South Australia, and went back to the local club of Glenelg, where I played for 3 years there, a bit all over the shop in the first year. I played forward ruck. And then cemented my stock down back for 2 years, and the love for AFL and playing again for at the highest level was always there, and just a lot of dedication, a lot of hours put into footy training and watching vision and stuff like that, just to better myself and get that opportunity again. And then just pretty much got a call from the manager that I was with halfway through 2023 and said, look, there's a few clubs interested, so you want to give a crack? And I said absolutely. And North was the favourite there.
Yeah, unreal. So, how many other clubs were chasing you? Can you tell us any of the clubs that were after you?
I'm not too sure who the other clubs were, but
Oh, okay.
they did say there was a few, but North were the ones that were the keenest.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, since you come to North, like the first year, the whole club's a bit shaky. This year, for you personally, like I just to be 100%, like I would have never thought you'd be absolutely undroppable in this team. Like coming across and then even just getting delisted and re-rookied. It's such a crazy story, man. Like, what's
Yeah.
changed this year for you to genuinely, in my opinion, just undroppable? You can't be moved from down there.
Yeah, it was just the buy into the system. Clarko's only been here for a short amount of time, and boys are still learning the game plan and the system he wants us to play. So we're still building, and my first year at the club, still sort of settling in, meeting new people, and learning the game plan myself. So ironically, the second year, I always feel like I play my best footy when I'm more comfortable around the teammates that I've spent the whole year with, and building that relationship. So I just feel more trusted out there, more confident in myself, and the players around me like me. So it's good.
And I said on the podcast I did with Marnie that we reviewed the game, and early in the game you took this intercept mark sort of on the wing, cutting in front of Curnow, and I sort of thought straight away, geez, he looks confident. Like the difference between last year and this year, it's just confidence. You can jump up and grab that footy. Is that pretty accurate?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Like confidence is a big thing. It was a big thing when I was at Sydney as well, and probably the main reason why I left there. But it's something that I've been working on, and I feel like I'm a lot stronger in that space. And I do play my best footy when I'm confident out there.
Mm. You're becoming an absolute fan favorite. I mean, like, have you seen all the Pink Pony Club photos going around and everything?
Um, I have seen them. The AI ones, they're pretty scary of myself, but they're funny as well.
And you got like the Carlton draft doing Toby Pink Tuesdays and things like that. Like, how do you feel about all of that stuff? Because you're becoming a North Cull hero, mate.
Yeah, it's good. I love it. I love the fans. Carlton Draft have been pretty much with me the whole way, sort of. And I always send my wife some nice shirts every time there's a new design, so she loves it. And I love the fans.
Yeah, I've got one of the shirts too, mate. I think they sent myself, Marnie, and some of the Close to a Flag boys those shirts as well. And we went out to Oakley one night and all took a photo getting a Euros plate with them on. And everyone was thinking, what are these people doing with these shirts, this bloke on it? But it was fantastic,
Yeah.
mate. Look, those shirts, it's my signature to say I was on the Toby Pink fan club early. All right. So that's
Oh,
my
thanks,
my
mate.
receipts.
Thank you.
What
Yeah, that's good.
what do you think about all that stuff though? Well, actually, more importantly, let's talk about like your better half, Chloe. Like she's fantastic, and what does she think about all this sort of stuff with you being this cult hero and getting shirts made? How does she react to all that?
No, she loves it. She's the number one fan. I don't reckon anyone would be able to take her spot. She's always got the new badge, got the new shirt. As whichever one comes out, she's always reaching out to get some new stuff. She's really supportive, which is good.
Unreal. Just a couple more questions, and I won't hold you up too long. There's a little plan brewing for later in the year. We haven't picked a day yet or a game, but what would you think if we, me and myself, with Further North and Close to a Flag, we're thinking about doing a Toby Pink tribute day at the footy? What do you reckon about that?
It sounds unbelievable. I'll be there.
Yeah, you're
Depending on
undroppable, mate.
depending on the date. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm trying to think what we could do. Do we all get masks or all get a mustache? I mean, look, we're both red-headed fellas, mate, but I don't want to shave my beard off to get the Toby Pink stash. I'll buzz my
No,
hair. So I have to see what we can
that's
do.
fair enough. Yeah, just the red wigs probably is the easiest.
Yeah, there's got to be a hookup at the club that can get like 100 red wigs for people, surely.
I'm sure if you send an email, they'll try.
And you got the Hawks coming up. That's a massive test down there. I'm from Launceston. I'm a Lonnie boy. Yeah, excited to go play down in the cold down there?
Yeah, well, the last game they played there looked pretty cold. But yeah, we're up for the task. We've been building some good footy over the last 6 weeks. So as long as we continue that, I'm sure it'll be a good game.
Yeah. Look, last time I was at the game late last year. Did you play in the last game of the year last year?
I did. I was playing as a forward though. Yeah, that was it wasn't the best day. Last game of the round, and I think we lost by 120 points. We've already sort of talked about it today as well. So we want to better ourselves for that for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, I was standing in the rain for that one too, and we had to drive to Hobart because I took my partner down to see the family, and we were like, "All right, I might head off at 3/4 time. I don't think we're coming back here." And then by the time I got home, which was a 15-minute drive, they'd piled on 6 goals. So,
Yeah.
look, not to bring that up again, but you just touched on it there, like how much. I'm not saying Clarko goes, look at what happened last time and go and do better, but like I felt as a fan watching the Carlton game that we got beaten so badly last time. It felt like you didn't want that to happen again. And you could see it with the physicality. Like, is that something you try and take down and right some of the wrongs of maybe some of the buildings we've copped over the last year or two?
Yeah, for sure. Ironically, like you said, the last game we versed against Carlton, we got beaten by 80 points or something, and that's in round 6. And that's when we started playing our good footy from there, where we said, we don't want to do that ever again. And yeah, like I said, we mentioned it today. The last time we played the Hawks, they belted us from 120 point win, I think it was. And yeah, we don't want to be there again, especially in Launceston in the cold. Wouldn't be the best feeling. So yeah, we obviously want to go into the game thinking that we can win it. But yeah, we've got to play as good as we have been the last few weeks.
Yeah, and I, as a fan as well, and so many fans are mirroring this now. I'm really starting to trust that we're not going to go down anywhere and get smashed anymore. I believe in the defense, and I believe in what the team's doing, and I think you guys have definitely shown us that. A little personal thing for you as well. I've got my podcast award. We do the Sean Atlee Club Champ, who's one of my favourite players ever. You're currently top 5 in the Sean Atlee Club Champ for the entire club, mate. So if that doesn't get you up and about,
Nice.
I don't know what does.
Great. Yeah, I think Chloe has showed me that a few times.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so we do follow it, but yeah, it's great to be amongst them top 5 people for sure.
Unreal, mate. And last question, something completely different to footy. What's your hobby? What do you like doing and when you're away from the ground and away from the ball?
Well, I'm actually real into my fishing at the moment. Big X and young Will Watson, they're really into their footy. So we actually went out Wednesday during the week last week, and had a bit of day out in the water. So I like to do that, but it's obviously also very hard to do in the winter. You know, you got to sort of wait for the nicer weather as much as you can. But yeah, pretty much that. Watching movies, you know, hanging out with the wife. There's a lot of things that I do.
What sort of movies are you into?
I'm more of an action man myself, action drama. There hasn't been too many that's come out recently, but try to get to the movies as much as I can because it's a good shut off from the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Superman movie coming up. Are you excited for that? Or Jurassic Park? There's a few coming out.
Yeah. Well, I haven't looked too much into what's coming out, but them two do definitely sound like my way. So I'll be going to them for sure. It's just the hardest is to find someone to come with. Normally Chloe likes the drama ones or stuff like that, but sometimes she gets roped into coming to them ones.
Yeah, for sure. And I've chatted to Chom a little bit, and he had an awful call one day and said Superbad is a rubbish movie and those sort of movies suck. What's your opinion on that?
I love Superbad. You know, I love the comedies. They are very funny. They get you up and about. It's a great movie. It's one of the greatest Superbad, I feel.
Unreal. Is that the normal three that go out? You Shotgun, and an ex go out on the boat?
Yeah, they're pretty much the main one, and Taylor Goad as well. That the young ruckman, he's into his fishing. Normally the countrymen are into it. There's a few boys that have sung out, saying to take us next time, but you know, they don't seem like they're that into it compared to us.
Yeah, I'm a rubbish fisherman too. I've caught 3 fish in my life. I caught one in a tank, which was at a theme park when we were driving up the coast, which obviously doesn't count. I hooked a fish by the eye in Bridport in northern Tasmania, and the only time I've genuinely caught a fish, I sat on a jetty in Tassie for hours in like 3 degrees, and I hooked a flathead after 3 hours of sitting there. It was unreal.
That would have been unreal, mate. All worth the 3 hours, I'm sure.
Absolutely not. It was shocking. I hated it. Don't get me out on the boat anytime, all right?
No, that's all right.
Unreal. Well, look, thank you for jumping on, mate. Thank you for your time. You genuinely been so good watching you play. And anytime I get to chat to players, just as a fan, I can't believe people listen to the pod in general. So the fact I'm chatting to you is a real honour, mate. Thank you.
No worries, mate. Pleasure.